Welcome back. As you know, I'm Eli the Computer Guy over here for the Daily Blob, where we say, am I allowed to do this? So I'm about to do a nice video about Meta. Am I actually allowed to say nice things about Meta? You know how I feel about Mark Zuckerberg, right? Yeah, well, Mark Zuckerberg. But I guess Meta isn't actually Mark Zuckerberg, so I guess maybe we can say nice things about Meta. Yeah, that's right. A lot of you are like, Eli, why is Eli so mean and snarky all the time? And it's because the tech industry has been doing a lot of stupid crap lately. This might come as a shock to the new viewers out there, but here's the thing. I give my honest opinions, my authentic opinions about what's going on in the tech industry. It's not my fault. The past year has been an abject shit show. Right? Anyways, but here's the thing. When people do good stuff, do good stuff, I talk about the good stuff too. They're just, my God, they're just not doing a lot of good stuff lately. Anyways, this is coming from Tech Radar Pro. Meta says it will let candidates use AI in some job interviews. And I actually think that's pretty damn cool. So this is one of the things we've heard about lately, right? Is a lot of, it's weird. It's like these tech companies. So Microsoft is now forcing their employees to use artificial intelligence. Microsoft's AI is so good that Nadella literally had to come out and write a memo that said, if you don't use our amazing AI products, you are going to get dinged on your reviews, which, again, is just a little bit amusing. Wow, your products are so amazing. You literally have to force your employees to use them. Anyways, right, but we've heard about this. We've heard about, more and more companies using these AI, the agents and the products. Claude Code, apparently Claude Code is amazing. But the weird part is at the exact same time, the corporations are literally forcing their employees to use AI. In the education world, we hear a lot of universities and colleges literally punishing students for using artificial intelligence. With job interviews, we've heard of students being punished if they use AI during the interviews. There's the Columbia student who just dropped out, created his own little startup company where basically when you're doing a Zoom job interview, the AI is collecting a whole bunch of information and literally in real time providing you answers to the questions that the interviewer is asking you. And when he did this, he got a number of internships. He got an internship with Amazon and a couple of other internships. As soon as it came out, and this is the amazing part with our industry. As soon as it came out that a college student had created this app, so it wasn't just that he used this app, that he bought something off the shelf, he had literally created this app, deployed it into a real environment, because that's what the interviews were, and proved its success by getting these interviews, right? That is what a technology professional does. Finds a problem, creates a solution for the problem, deploys it into an environment or testing, and verifies that it does what the hell it's supposed to do, right? So this Columbia college student did all of those to the tune of getting all of these internships and the rest of it, and literally Columbia decided they were going to punish him, and all of his internships got revoked, because how dare you do what technology professionals are supposed to do, right? But that's the weird thing that we have, right? And we hear this, I've talked about this before, where I was talking to the head of the Asheville, University of North Carolina, Asheville. They have a computer science program, and I was asking how they had, integrated artificial intelligence into their program. This was only a couple of months ago, and he literally stated, we recommend our students stay away from artificial intelligence for the first 2 years of the program. It's like, what? No, but I'm sorry. Are you the janitor? I apologize, dear sir. I thought you were the head of the comp sci department. I didn't realize you were the fucking janitor. Please tell me you're the janitor, because that would only make sense. That statement would only make sense if you were fucking janitor. But anyways, right? But that's the weird thing that we get, right? We get the education environment is all like, oh my God, what about AI? And then we get the interview process, oh my God, what about AI? And then they actually get into the jobs, and then they're forced to use AI. We're like, oh, crap. So this is actually good, right? From Meta, it's going to let candidates use AI in some job interviews, right? Let's think about it. If you're trying to solve problems, who the hell cares? And the other thing you want to understand is how they use the tools to actually solve the problems, right? So if they use artificial intelligence, are they auditing the code? Are they checking the code to verify it does what it does? Are they going through the code to verify the syntax or the styling, right? So there's syntax and styling. Syntax are the actual words you have to use, right? For X in list, colon, right? That's syntax. But then there's a styling. And so what is X? So X is a variable name. So what should that variable name be? Should you use snake case or should you use camel case? Snake case, camel case. Anyways, right, there's all kinds of stuff with styling. So syntax has to be precise or the code doesn't work. Styling can be all over the board. So when your candidate uses artificial intelligence, do they verify the code does what it's supposed to do and nothing else? Nothing else? Do they verify the code that gets spit out fits into the styling requirements for your company, right? Using this product, do they do these things or do they ass it up? And this is going to be important, right? So if you have people interview for your company and you refuse to allow them to use AI during the interview, you're like, you cannot use AI during the interview. But then as soon as they get hired, AI is an integral component to everything they do. That literally means you have no idea how they're actually going to think about doing their jobs, right? We talk about that with culture, right? The important thing with culture and startup companies and technology companies is that people are thinking in the same way. So what you do is you give people the approximate tools, or an approximation of the tools that they're going to be using within your company, and you want to see how they think about the problem, right? So if you don't allow them to use the tools you're going to force them to use later, then you don't really understand how they're going to think about doing things. And one of the things that's really interesting, especially in the modern world, what if they're really good, what they're amazing of working in a non-AI environment, and they're just crap with AI, right? I've talked about this with my brain, right? I am on the spectrum. You might not notice this because obviously sitting in a basement or a shed for hours a day screaming into a camera is completely normal. This is what completely normal people do with their lives. Anyways, right? But one of the things with that is there's just certain things my brain just refuses to get around, right? Logically, I understand the whole, like emails, right? I'm not going to respond to your email. Let me just be blunt. I don't care what your email is. And it's not because I don't want to, right? I get fans and students and they'll email me and I'll be like, wow, right? This is an important email. And I'll look at it and go, okay, I should respond to that email. And then I'll put a little flag or something on it and it'll be there. And then the next day I'll be like, oh, I need to respond to that email. And then like a week from now I'll be like, fuck, I really should have responded to that email. And then like a month from now I go, delete. Well, I don't know. I just, email just doesn't do it for me. As I've talked about this whole online thing, when we do silicondojo.com, hopefully my wife and I are moving to a large city again. And so we're going to be able to do silicondojo.com in person because I can just deal with people in person much better than I do online. I know when to stop talking. Like, I don't know. When you're like 3 feet away from me, I don't know. It's easier for me to couch my language sometimes. It's easier for me to measure what I should say, right? Try and do this stuff online. But the important thing to understand, right, is different people have different, right, problems in life. And so one of the things, if you go and you test somebody in a completely non-AI interview environment, and then you dump them into the AI world, their brain may not be able to tick that way. So why the hell are you going to interview people based off an environment that they're not actually going to go into? That would be asininely stupid. That would be the kind of dumb shit that lemmings would do because they're simply doing what everybody else is doing, right? If your environment changes, you need to change the testing and education regime to match the actual work environment. So it looks like Meta Meta is actually doing that. Meta is reportedly testing AI-enabled coding interviews in which it will allow candidates to use AI tools. For the time being, it looks like the company could be recruiting internal employees as volunteers for mock interviews to help it develop and shape the shape and format of them, with the initiative revealed via internal communications and verified by 404 Media. Quote, Meta is developing a new type of coding interview in which candidates have access to an AI assistant. This is more representative of the developer environment that our future employees will work in, and also makes LLM-based cheating less effective, right? So if you give them the AI or give them AI agents or whatever AI products during the interview process, then they will have those products to use. You will understand how they use it, and hopefully they'll cheat. They'll cheat less. Though, hey, Mark Zuckerberg, yeah, would you like to do a seminar on cheating? Would you like to do a seminar on cheating and how cheaters always lose? Yes, Mark Zuckerberg, we would love to hear an hour-long seminar on how cheaters always lose and never win hundreds of billions of dollars. Anyways, it is always funny. Like, I find this cheating thing to be weird. Again, especially being a 30-year technology professional at this point. Like, it is what we do. Is what we do. We cheat. Again, we copy paste. We cheat. That's... Anyways, I do find that to be funny. Cheating's bad. No, it's not. No, it's not. Our modern society is built on cheating. Anyways, are you going to give your house back? I'll just bring this up to all those people. Cheating's bad. Oh, great. You're going to go find some Native American and give them the keys to your house? What? I'm just saying, if cheating is bad, if cheating is never successful, that does mean you're going to take the keys to your house and your deed. You're going to find the first Native American that you find, and you're going to hand that over to that Native American, right? Right? No. Because cheating actually, is kind of successful. Anyways. Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg already believes AI could eventually write most of Meta's app and AI code, ultimately ending up as mid-level engineers as soon as this year and freeing up humans to focus on more creative tasks. It's a similar story with Microsoft and Google, two companies that claim around 1/3 of new code is AI generated. I do wonder with this whole 1/3 of code is AI generated, right? If I type in create a for loop for this list and then it creates it, I mean, yes, I created one sentence and it created all of this. So it's true. It's true it wrote 1/3 of the code or whatever. I wonder, they say those kind of words, and I really do wonder, what that actually means. However, Meta's approach to AI-assisted interviews marked a different direction to other companies in the space. Anthropic currently bans AI use during interviews, presumably seeking genuine worker talent that can be further enhanced by AI. Again, that whole question of what is talent? Right? If you're hiring people to work with AI, don't you need to understand how they work with AI? Anywho, quote, we're obviously focused on using AI to help engineers with their day-to-day work, so it should be no surprise that we're testing how to provide these tools to applicants during interviews, a Meta spokesperson added. So there you go. I can in fact say something nice about Meta. Every once in a while, when they don't do something jackass-asinely stupid, I can say something nice. Look, Llama, the Llama LLM they've given out, fucking phenomenal. I'm not going to scream about Llama. React, I'm not a React coder, but apparently React is great, and that comes from Meta. Meta's done a lot of great things. Llama, just a whole list of god-awful crap. Sometimes an evil corporation can accidentally do wonderful things for society. Anywho, but I do kind of think this is interesting, that this is actually something that is notable enough to be written about. This whole idea that a large technology company would actually start integrating artificial intelligence into interviews. And this is one of the things I would also say for you, if you're an organization leader or you're in a company or a leader or whatever else, the whole question of how your processes work. Have you updated your processes to be relevant in 2025, right? I talk about artificial intelligence and I poo-poo artificial intelligence a lot, right? This whole thing of the next fiscal year, they're putting $400 billion of just CapEx, just capital expenditure funding into AI, I think is asininely stupid, right? Sam Altman saying they've deployed something like 1 million GPUs and he wants to 100x that. Oh, I can scream for a long time about how stupid that is, right? When every company out there wants to be the AI leader, Mark Zuckerberg wants Meta to be the AI leader. Apple, Tim Cook came out and said Apple should be the AI leader for some reason. I don't even understand why. Elon Musk wants to be the AI leader, right? OpenAI, Sam Altman wants to be the AI leader. Nadala's out there struggling to be an AI, all these guys, right? Like I can say a lot of crap about the stupidity of what's going on with the AI in the current world. But if we look at the key technologies and the key products that have been deployed over the last 2 years, you cannot argue that those are going to go away. Right? The ability to go to a LLM, right? Whether it's OpenAI, whether it's Claude, whether it's Olama, Pi 3 or something, whatever you got running on Olama, the ability to go there and to be able to ask a question and get a very specific response, right? That's not going to go the hell away. The concept of RAG, retrieval augmented generation, where as part of the context, it's called context engineering now, as part of the context that goes basically with the prompt into the LLM, adding information from your data stores, right? So collecting all the text information for your company, chunking that using something called vector databases, so that when I make a query, the system can grab relevant chunks of data from all the documents that are in your organization to add those to the question that you're asking to get a very specific answer back, right? That's not going to go away. That is here to stay. It works. Plus, there are free open source versions of all of this. So even if Meta blew up tomorrow, even if OpenAI went completely bankrupt, right? This core key technology and the products that come from it are not going to go away. So in 2025, if you're running a technology company and you are limiting your interviewees from being able to use AI, the question that I have to ask is, why are you so effing stupid? Why are you so behind the times that you're not integrating these technologies into the interview process so that you understand how these employees are going to use these technologies so that you can actually make sure to integrate them well into your teams? Right? Everybody loves to laugh about the young people, right? Used to be laughing about millennials, and then it was laughing about Gen Z. Nobody ever laughed about Gen X because nobody gave a shit about us. Sigh, Gen X. Nobody laughed at us because everybody forgot we existed. Even when we were the youngest generation, nobody seemed to remember we existed. We were latchkey kids. We're latchkey kids. You know how like millennials, they talk about like with soccer moms and helicopter parents, like their parents were always there. Like latchkey kids, we were just given keys to the house. And then we were told to survive. Literally. My parents would leave for work at like 7 o'clock in the morning, and they wouldn't get back from work till 5 or 6 at night. And I just had a key. Like I was 6 in first grade. I locked the door behind me, walked a mile to school, went to school, came home at whatever it was, 1 or 2 in the afternoon, and bided my time until mom came home. Anyways, nobody cared about Gen X. Anyways, that's a ramble. So anyways, right, we love to laugh at the millennials. We love to laugh at the Gen Zs. But one of the points that I really want to argue, I really want to hammer home, is with some of this stuff, it only shows the abject hubris of the older generations. It only shows how absolutely out of touch the older people are, that when these Gen Zers come, whether it's to get educated or whether it's to do an interview or whatever else, that we are not giving them the basic tools that are going to be required to do their jobs, right? This is not going to go away, right? The calculator wasn't going to go. Once they created the calculator, it's not like the calculator was going to disappear, right? LLMs are here forever. So why are you not integrating that into into your processes, right? These are things to ponder and to think about. It's fun to laugh at the Gen Zers, but maybe it's better to laugh at the Gen X. Hey, we're old now. Like, we didn't get laughed at when we were young because nobody remembered we existed. Hey, maybe we can get laughed at because we're the old people. Probably not. We're probably going to be laughing at the boomers. You're like, you boomers? I'm not a boomer. Yeah, you are. No, we're just functionally not a boomer. Yeah, that's not what boomer means. Yeah, you don't even know why. You don't even know why calling a Gen X a boomer. It's just so. It's just calling a Gen X a boomer is just, it is just like chef's kiss. But our young people are so ignorant, naive, and just abjectly stupid. They don't even understand why calling a Gen Xer a boomer is just funny. It's just funny. Anyways, you've heard that one enough. So what do you think about this? What do you think about Meta doing something not stupid for once? What do you think about them integrating AI into the actual interview process? What about your company? Are you folks integrating artificial intelligence into your interview process to verify that the employees can actually do the job that they're expected to do? What do you think about this? With colleges and universities, literally in this world of AI and LLMs and all that kind of stuff, that they're literally telling their own students, no, you should hold off on that. What do you think about our society continually kneecapping the young generation and then laughing at them because they don't understand what the hell's going on? I don't know. Put your thoughts down below. Give us a thumbs up. Give us a thumbs down. Say an amazing comment. Say a horrible comment. It's the modern world of YouTube. All that matters is that interaction. Do remember silicondojo.com. We're doing the fireside chats. We have a co-founder and CTO of an integrations company coming on the show in a couple of days. He is going to talk about integrating artificial intelligence into their platforms and how that did or did not work. So we'll be doing that. And then next week, we're going to have the VP for AI models over at IBM. He's going to talk about what the hell IBM is currently doing with AI. Going to talk about models, especially Granite, and how IBM looks at models and that type of thing. So you can go to silicondojo.com. You can become a member for free, and you can RSVP. They are Zoom sessions, so you can come on the live session. You can ask questions and that type of thing. That's all I got. See y'all later.